Today, I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what the future holds for Kobe Bryant's cards and why they have been dipping so much. Now, before we get into that, I did want to say a little bit of a word about our Sports Card Invest membership program because we've been killing it. And before the season started, we were buying up Stephen Curry Topps Gold, PSA 9s for under 3,000 and PSA 10s for under 30,000. The PSA 10's currently 60,000 and the PSA 9 is currently up to $9,000. So if you guys would like to join in on the profit, go ahead, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. So essentially, Kobe Bryant's cards have been on a free fall for a very, very long time at this point. At this point, it has probably been around a year since Kobe cards have been just slowly declining. And so as any investor, you would be quite afraid to get into his cards right now, and you would kind of be questioning what the future for his cards holds, because, his cards just continue to go down, and I personally have a very big thesis on what is going on in Kobe Bryant's card market. Now, of course, the demand for Kobe is always going to be very hot, that is not to question, but, the real issue with Kobe's cards is, one, population, of course. Some of his main cards, such as his Topps PSA 9, the population's over 13,000, so that is, of course, very crazy. It's a lot of demand that must be there. But the real reason that I've really noticed about Kobe Bryant's cards is that there are way too many investable options. And so that increases the population by just so much, because if you're looking to invest in Kobe cards, like, look at all of these very, reputable rookie cards that you can invest in. The list goes on for just so long. He has his SP, he has his Skybox, he has his Topps Chrome, he has his Bowman's Best, he has his normal Topps, he has his Upper Deck, he has Topps Finest, he has a Fleer rookie card, he has a Metal rookie card, he has the EX 2000 that is very popular. So, he has the Hoops, not to mention there's so many more. And all of these have populations, in the thousands, or if not high, 700s, 800s. So the populations and all of these are just so crazy, that it becomes very hard for demand to keep up. His Bowman's Best PSA 9 has a pop of nearly 6,000. Topps Finest PSA 9, pop of nearly 5,000. Of course, his Topps, has pop. I believe his total pop on his 1996 Topps is well over 30,000 cards that are graded by PSA alone. And so these pop numbers and adding up all of his investable options, it will be very tough for a lot of these cards to go up in the future. Now, of course, you're going to have certain cards that are going to do very well. I personally believe in the future, there's going to be some cards that do very well, some investable options, such as his Topps Chrome, maybe Refractor, I believe, is going to do very well. I believe that's one of his most coveted cards. And I think cards like that are going to stay. I think cards like that are going to do very well in the long term. But I think a lot of just his normal cards, his Upper Decks, his Topps, his Bowman's Best, I personally do not see them doing very well long term, just because of how many options he has. For investors entering the market, they have a million different options for Kobe's cards. And at some point, how big can demand be, for prices to really keep up? And especially given, some of these prices are very high still. And if we look at, for example, Steph Curry or someone else like that, they have a few investable options, but that's it, right? So Steph has his Topps, he has his Upper Deck, his Prestige is not even really recognized, but it's pretty much just Topps, Upper Deck, Topps Chrome, and Bowman. Occasionally Upper Deck Draft Edition, but look at all these pops as well. They're all under 1,000 or around 1,000. Whereas Kobe, he has just a million different options, and then he has a million different, there's so much population on each of his cards. And so that is the really tough part about investing in Kobe's cards, and you have to be very strategic. Now, one angle, if you would like to really invest in Kobe's cards, I think his autographs are gonna do really well long term, and that is because, of course, the population on his autographs are firstly capped. There's not going to be any more Kobe Bryant autographs, unfortunately. As much as it hurts to say it, it is the truth. So if we're making a financial video, I kind of have to mention that. But if you look at like his 2012 Prism, in a BGS 9.5, his Prism autograph, I think these long-term are going to do incredible. The pop is just 80, and the prices are still down quite a lot. So I think a lot of these cards are going to have a really bright future. A lot of these pops are all under 100. Some of these cards have like a pop 7, a pop 34, and demand will certainly be able to meet that in the long term for Kobe's cards. I have no doubt, and I'm very comfortable personally putting my money into Kobe's autographs. However, with his normal rookie cards, I'm just very hesitant. His tops especially, I've really tried to get rid of mine. I really think you guys, have to kind of have that conversation with yourself, on what you want to do with Kobe's cards, because, of course, long term, if sports cards continue to grow, it may not be an issue, but, it's just a big risk to play, and especially when looking at other all-time greats and how small of a pop a lot of them have, and you're looking at Kobe with insane pops, a lot of different options, with people really underestimate. The amount of investable options Kobe has compared to anybody else is just through the water, to be honest. Even LeBron, who has quite a lot of investable options, he still has probably around 30 to 40% of the investable options as Kobe does. And that is why you see his cards holding up a little bit better. His PSA 10 is up at around 9,500, and of course that is with him having a very poor, or that is with the Lakers having a very poor season. But I definitely think overall we're gonna see growth in Kobe's cards, but I think his autographs are the way to go. His 2012 Prism autograph is my personal favorite pick, but there's a lot of different ways you can go, even if that does not, fit your budget. There's so many autographs you can get in, as low as $1,000 or $2,000 right now for Kobe's autographs. And I think that is, a very smart position to take in for the long term. So I would definitely urge you guys to just take a look at Kobe's autographs and, understand if you're holding Kobe's other rookie cards. This is obviously not a panic sell. That's not what, this video is hoping to achieve. I just want everyone to kind of be aware of, what the market is, how many options he has, because that's been on my mind for a while, just debating, even in my membership reports, which Kobe Bryant cards to recommend, which I recommend people to sell, and I definitely think a lot of this data is very valuable for long-term prices, and even in the short term, we're seeing a lot of it, go towards lower pop Kobe cards, and some of his autographs are holding up pretty well, especially compared to, these tops that have a million out there, so I definitely recommend you guys take a look. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like. If you did enjoy, I guess drop a like as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to join the membership program, click the link down below. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.